Okay, so the first lab that you're going to work through is, let me get this thing launched here, is some basic communication and file structure setup. We're going to talk about setting up folders. We're going to download and use a program called Jing, and then I'm going to show you how to position and resize images on a document. I teach these skills in my intro to GIS, my Digital Earth class, GIS 151, and so I'm going to kind of walk you through the things that I find students need to be reminded of or learn how to do. So folders, setup and location of folders is really important in GIS and remote sensing kinds of labs. You have many files that all kind of need to come together, sometimes to be read by a certain piece of software. So I'm going to really talk about folder setup and structure. The students in my classes work on a flash drive, or they work on the desktop and then save to the flash drive, so thinking about ways to back up your work. And then once you have a Word document, I find students don't know how to save back into a folder that isn't just the default setup from their computers. Then we're going to download a program called Jing by TechSmith. It's used to get screen captures. You can annotate pictures. You can take little video shots that have voice recording. It's just a really nice way to communicate. So I have students, if they're having problems with an application, they can videotape that and send it to me. And then show you how to work with wrapping images and keeping them from being distorted. So by wrapping an image, I can place an image wherever I want on a page, and that gives me a lot of flexibility in my layout. Also, students tend to want to fit an image on a page in a small space, and they often will skew or distort the image, and they won't keep that ratio the same. So we'll talk about how to do that as well. All right. So first thing, start a new folder, and I right-click. I'm using a mouse because I cannot use just a keyboard. So I have a little Logitech mouse, wireless mouse. Right-click that to create a new folder. I'm going to name the folder GIS 151. You'd probably name yours Geog 607. I'm going to create a new folder inside my main folder called GIS Lab 1. And you'll notice that I'm not using spaces in my names, so whenever I create names for GIS work, not so much Word documents but other names, folder names, file names, I do not use any spaces or wild characters. I can use an underscore or numbers. Okay, so I've got my two folders set up. I'm going to open up a Word document, and I want to save that. Let's put my name. Call it thematic and maps. Okay, and the date. Okay, now I'm going to save this in that Lab 1 folder. So I'm going to go desktop, and now I can call this okay, reference maps. And often I have students put their name at the end of a file so that when they send them to me, I kind of know who they are. Okay, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to close it. If I back up here, there's my work. Okay, so now after I do that with students, I ask them to document and send me a Word document that documents their file setup. So we're going to download Jing. I'm opening up Safari, typing in Jing, and Jing is by a company called TechSmith, so I know that that's the right company. I'm going to download, click download, start the Mac download, and that little ball bounced over there, and it's in my application folder. Alright, so I'm going to click at the bottom. I have a folder called Downloads, and I'm going to pull this out so you can see it. And in that is a DMG file called Jing. So I'm going to double click that. I'm going to agree to the fine print. And then I'm just going to grab the Jing icon and put it in my application folder. And so hopefully when I open up my applications, there's the program Jing. So I'm going to double click Jing, and I already had one. Oh yeah, I want to open that. Sorry. There we go. And there's Jing by TechSmith. All right, so when you use this for the first time, you'll be prompted to give email address and a password, and that's all you need to do to set up your account. I've never been contacted. They haven't given me a lot of spam or junk mail. So, and then the other thing is I can go to any computer, download Jing. It just takes a second, and then use my account. All right, so I'm going to ask students to grab a screenshot of this setup so that I see that their document is inside their Lab 1 folder. So you hover over Jing, and I'm using a Logitech wireless mouse because I cannot use the touchpad. I just don't have that capability. Okay, so I'm over the Jing Sun. I'm going to click on that plus arm, which is a capture tool, and you see I get crosshairs. So I position the crosshair on the far left of where I want to start my image, hold down the left mouse button, hold it down and drag and let go. I can captures that image, and now I can put my name on that, change that horrible green. I can put an arrow so that I want to call their attention to both of these things. That's good. Now I'm going to save that in my Lab 1 folder. So I'm going to call this folder image or folder. And it looks like it defaulted to that folder, but I'm going to double check. Desktop. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to save it in there. There's my folder image, and I'm good. Okay, so students can then open up their Word document, and they can insert that image. So let's try that. Okay, I'm going to go to Insert, Photo, Picture from File. And again, my desktop, 151, Lab, and there's my image, and insert it. So there's the image that I have inserted in Jing. So if I choose text wrap, and for some reason I usually always go to tight because it seems to give me more flexibility, I could put my image on top. I can put my image wrapped around. And if I had a bunch of text, anyway, I'm not going to do that. If I had a bunch of text, then this thing could actually nicely wrap around that text and have text flowing on both sides. Couple things I can do with this. I can, if I grab one of the corners, hold the left mouse button down and drag in, I've kept my length and width ratio the same. What students tend to want to do is that and then that, and sometimes they'll get it right on, but you can't be sure. So I always grab a corner, or better yet, if you double click that image and appear in the size, with that checked, that means that I'm keeping that weight ratio linked, and I can type in a 2 here, and I haven't distorted my image. Okay, so let's use Jing in a different way. I'm going to delete this image, and I want to practice making a short video to show students how to insert an image. So I'm going to hover over Jing again, grab the capture tool. This time I need more of my screen so they can see all these toolbars. And instead of just capture, I'm going to capture a video. The mic is on, but because I'm using a mic on a different screen capture video program, it may not work with this one. But anyway, so I can tell students to open up their Word document. I can tell them to go up to Insert. And Photo, Picture from File. Go find their document or navigate to their folder. Pick the document. Choose Insert. And then their document will be inserted in their Word document, or their image will be inserted in their Word document. Now, the cool thing here is when I'm done, I say Finish, and I can play it back, see if that's what I want, or I can save it as a file. But the thing that's just very cool is this little upload button. So I'm going to click the upload button, and when I create a Jing account, I am given some space in the cloud where I can just save that's mine, and so I can save an image as a video, and this will give me a URL. So we'll wait for that to finish. So I have that URL. If I click down here and paste, that is the URL link. So I could that's a hot link on a Word document. Students could click that, or I could send them an email with that link. So if I were to copy that, I'm still figuring out how to copy with keystrokes. I'm not doing a good job of it. Open up Safari, paste that in there. Can I do that this way? Command V, yes. Hit return. And so there is my video. Great. So you've got how that works. So you can just see how easy that is for me to make a really short video to help students if they're stuck on an aspect of a lab, or for them to say, look, Lynn, this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm getting. So hopefully we'll be doing some of that sharing of communication in that way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I think these videos have a 5-minute life. I think you can do 5 minutes on that. Okay, so then the last thing in the lab, so you're going to set up folders, you're going to take a picture of those folders, you're going to download Jing, you're going to use Jing, and then what I'm going to have you do is go through the reading about in the introductory chapter about thematic and reference maps, and then find some examples of each. And so I'm going to just real quickly, I have not used Safari very much, and I had a little trouble. Google Images, that's actually where I wanted to go. So let's go thematic map of the US. This is the one I was liking. So I'm going to save that image in my folder, and I'm going to put it in my desktop. Okay, save it. And then let's go back and find a reference map. Okay, oh, that's pretty good. Truly ugly map. And it defaulted to the right place. Okay. All right, I can close that, and I can add these now. The trick is, your task is to get both of these nicely on one page. So what am I going to have to do here? I'm going to have to obviously change the height, and let's see, let's try 2.5. Whoop, probably could go to 3. And let's make those 3 as well. Okay, so now I've got both of my maps on my document. I can change that. I could put them side by side if I change the orientation of my map. However you want to make a nice looking document. So they need to be labeled, thematic, and reference. They don't have to be of the same area, but it would be fun for you to find a place you like and find an example. And then on the next document, I want you to discuss what are the elements of the thematic map that you chose that make it thematic? What are the elements of a reference map? And then conversely, why is it not a thematic map? So to be really thinking about this continuum of elements that are on a map. And so on a reference map, there are elements of a thematic map. So there's some different colors here that represent something. And on this map, there are elements of a reference map. So there's state lines and boundaries. Although what makes it a thematic or a reference is the primary purpose for that map. Okay, so that should get you started on that first lab, and good luck.